I worked for 24 and a half years in various capacities for the same company. And there were many, 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 many great times. At one point, they had a contest for their sales force with all expenses paid trips for 2 to really different, wonderful, exotic locations. They had incentives, they had opportunity for new growth, they had fun. Yeah, it was hard work, often long hours. We traveled a lot for work and we had a lot of dedication, but for the most part, it was a great, great company until it wasn't. If you're new here, welcome. My name's Maureen Dobransky. This is Life Starts at Retirement, and I make videos about making your retirement remarkable. I release a retirement lifestyle video every Saturday at noon, so please join us on our journey. Now, when I say it was a great company until it wasn't, I'm sincere. I loved working there. However, one day, driving on the freeway, I can remember this. I'm driving on the freeway to work and I realized, ooh, I have a stomach ache. I had really come to detest going to work. They had made so many changes in the company that I didn't recognize the fun, the exciting, the vibrant company that it once was. And although the bottom line was always considered, we had been bought out twice. And the new company that had us now, in my opinion, only focused on profit. They didn't care about people, they didn't care about fun, they didn't care about opportunity, they didn't care about growth. It was 100% the bottom line, profit. And with each of these buyouts came layoffs, many layoffs. And I remember one time we were all sent an email, every single person in the company was sent an email with a specific location of where to meet. Some met in the cafeteria, some met in various boardrooms, and it turned out, depending upon where you met, determined if you were let go that day. Every single person in the cafeteria was given paperwork and escorted out that day. If your car was in the parking lot, you were allowed to leave in the car. If not, they had waiting taxi cabs that they paid for to send you home. And in British Columbia, where we had a huge and important telephone sales rep division, their whole entire telephone sales rep department was let go. One day, gone. Their knowledge, their work, their contribution just escorted out the door. And things just kept getting worse. In my opinion, again, they had no plan to deal with the customers affected by all of the layoffs. They had no plan to help those remaining to deal with everything. It just became total chaos. Now, at this point, I'm not sure why I didn't actively look for another job. I knew sort of the writing was on the wall for so many of us, but I didn't look for another job. I stuck it out, driving down that freeway every morning with a stomachache to a job I didn't like at all. And I guess I knew, or I guess looking back, here's what I think I thought at that time. I had a pension. I'd been there for probably about 22 years at this time. I had a pension. It was growing. I didn't really know what else I could do. I'd been with this one company for 22-ish years. Could I start over again? I mean, I guess if I had to, but here's the big one. In Canada, at that time, if you got let go without cause, particularly in a massive layoff, you got a good severance package. Typically, it was 1 month for every year of service up to 18 months of salary. So at this point, I had 22 years of service. So if I stayed and got laid off, hopefully I'd get 18 months worth of salary. So I stayed. Now, I know this is very different in many, many different countries, but this is what was happening here at that time. And I stuck it out. But behind the scenes, while I was sticking it out, I planned for the day that I had both kind of hoped for and kind of dreaded would come, the day that I would be let go. Here's some of the things that I did to plan for it behind the scenes. I decided to top up my RRSPs as much as I could. So an RRSP here, Registered Retirement Savings Plan, is our tax-deferred savings plan in Canada. Your contributions to an RRSP are tax deductible, meaning they reduce your taxable income for the year that you make that contribution, which results in immediate tax savings. Also, the investments grow tax deferred and are only taxable when you withdraw the money from the plan. So I topped up as much as I could afford to. I topped up my RRSP. I went to our bank and applied for as much of a line of credit on our house that we could qualify for. I knew that once I was no longer working, we couldn't qualify for a new mortgage. I hoped we wouldn't need the line of credit, but I wanted it available just in case I needed it. So we went to the bank and got this big line of credit on our house. And then finally, my dad had asked me for help in managing his investments, which were mortgage investments. So I decided to help him, and in the process I learned all about the mortgage industry, investing, etc. I got my mortgage broker's license, which was one of the best career moves I ever made, and went there and helped him do private mortgages. And so finally, probably about a year, maybe a year and a half later, there were more layoffs at our company. We all knew it was coming. So I went to my manager and I said, okay, if there's more layoffs, we know, please pick me. The big day came. We were all on pins and needles and my phone rang and I could see it said HR on my caller ID. I went into their office kind of excited, only to be told happily on their part that I was one of the ones not being let go that day. I cried, I just started bawling. I remember I went into a boardroom. Ken was out of town working that day too, and I phoned him up. I said, I didn't get let go. They're keeping me. We laugh now, but at the time I was so upset. So I decided again to take matters more into my own hands. So I made an appointment with our new president, and I asked outright. I sat down with her and I said, if there's more layoffs, I want to be the one, because my manager didn't tell his manager, who didn't tell the president. So I remember walking out of that meeting with our new president, nervous, kind of excited, but kind of almost sick to my stomach. It's one thing when they decide to let you go. It's another one to actively ask for it. 6 months later, there were more layoffs. Only 7 people got laid off that time. And yes, I was one of those 7. So I knew back then I couldn't retire fully, but this allowed me to have different options. Again, I went to work doing mortgages then now full time. So I went to work with, not for, because I wasn't an employee, but I went to work with a firm specializing in residential mortgage. I was their only representative that did private mortgages, and it flourished. And it took a while, but I built a real good, amazing new business lending money in private mortgages. I still do that to this day. And then now, though, I'm entering another new phase of life where I'll be speaking on cruise ships. We're going to be traveling to 29 different countries in the next year while I'm speaking on cruise ships. And I'm going to be adding some great travel content to this channel in the various different countries that we travel to. So I just want to share a few final thoughts with you all that change, it's never easy. And after dedicating many, many years to one job, it was hard, scary, worrisome. But every end is also a new beginning, a new opportunity. It can be if you look at it that way. And maybe the traditional retirement plan that we had working for one company for 50 years, getting a gold watch and retiring, is no longer valid. It's not for everyone anymore. Maybe like me, you are looking for a different path. I don't know, a path where you can use your skills and experience, but on your own terms. So I guess I invite you to join me on this new journey on this channel, and we'll explore finding purpose, finding joy in retirement. We talk a little bit about financial thoughts, but we share bucket list worthy ideas and tons of travel and fun and ways to make your retirement remarkable. So whether you're nearing retirement yourself or simply planning for the future, there's a lot of knowledge and inspiration that we can share together to do that, just to make your retirement remarkable. So if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell so you won't miss any of our upcoming content. Let's navigate this journey together, turning uncertainty into empowerment and excitement. Again, I'm Maureen Dobransky. This is Life Starts at Retirement. And please consider joining our Facebook group. It's growing crazy, almost 22,000 members, a wealth of information, excitement, knowledge, support. Facebook.com/group/Life Starts at Retirement. I look forward to this next chapter of life with all of you.